Hello and welcome to your Tone with Weights series. This class is all about the arms, so we'll get started with just some nice stretches to create some spaciousness, and then we'll move into the workout. For this workout, I have two 5-pound weights, so something kind of on the lighter side is my suggestion. This might even be a little bit much for me, and then one heavier weight. Maybe around, I'm going to play with it, but maybe about 15 pounds or so, something heavier. Remember that throughout all of these classes where we're using weights, I do encourage you to be sticking with something that feels sustainable, where you can maintain your alignment through each movement. We will always do 3 sets of about 8 to 12 reps, okay? With little tiny breaks in between. So, if you can't quite get to 8, that means that you probably are too heavy, or if you're like getting through 12 really easy, it probably means you can go with a bit more weight. Let's begin standing in Tadasana. Place your feet hips distance apart, bring your arms by your side. Pull the shoulders back so they stack over the hips, and the hips back so they stack over the heels. Close your eyes down. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, let it out. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Interlace your hands, point your index fingers skyward, step your feet together, lift up and over to the left. Imagine reaching up and over a big energy exercise ball with lots of energy. So you actually create space rather than crunching into the side, create space as you move. So the goal here is just a really nice lateral opening between the right armpit and the right hip. Notice if your shoulders are squared down, keep your shoulders and hips both facing forward. One more nice breath into the side body, feeling all of these amazing intercostal muscles between your ribs stretching out. And then lift up and exhale over to side 2. Isolating the stretch now on the left waistline from the armpit down to the hip. Visualizing little fibers opening between the ribs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your arms. Next stretch, just the right arm lifts. Go up and over into the side body. This time the left hand slides down the leg, so we will go a little further now. You can kind of kick hips out a bit to exaggerate the stretch around the fascia of the outer hip. Curl the chest open. And then take the upper hand behind the head. Press the head back. Good. Inhale. We'll add a second stretch here. Take the upper hand behind the shoulders. Use the left hand to hug in for your tricep stretch. Press the head back. Pull the ribs in. So for this particular stretch, I want you to stay really integral with the spine. Zipping the ribs down towards the hip points. So the rib cage is stacked over the pelvis. This is tight for me today. Press the head back. We can add on by lifting up and over to the left side again. Maybe lift the gaze. Reach both arms and exhale, release. Ooh, feel that. Let's do the second side, just the left arm. The right arm presses into the thigh as you move into your lateral stretch. Shoulders and hips both squared forward. Slide the upper hand behind the head. Press the head back into the cradle of your hand. Good, let's slowly rise. Reach the upper arm and now bend it even deeper so the hand comes between the shoulder blades. I like to use the opposite hand to hug my elbow to midline. Press the head back. Retract the shoulders, but drop the ribs. To add on, lift up and over to the right again. Reach and release. Third stretch, bring your arms to that cactus position. Draw right arm forward and left arm under. You can either hug, pulling the shoulders apart, giving a nice stretch to your rhomboids. You could press the hands in the direction of each other or use a strap or your hands to clasp. Now I'll turn sideways so you can see this action a little bit better. On your inhale, start to lift your elbows away from the floor. Now on your exhale, karate chop your hands forward, creating that protraction between your scapula. Let's add a little neck movement here. Drop the chin down. Lift the chin up. Back through center. Left ear to left shoulder. Lift it up. And right ear to right shoulder. Preparing to floss. Inhale, we'll move into a bit of an arched position. Arms up, gaze up. And exhale down into a bit of a bowed position. Elbows down, gaze down. Twice more with your breath. Hugging the arms in tightly towards each other. That action of drawing to the midline. Very slowly unwind. Roll the shoulders down and back. Again, gaze down. Gaze up. Forward and then one side and the other. And this time a little semicircle, very slowly. Lift up and out of your stretch. Side two, cactus position in the arms. Draw left arm forward and that right arm under. You can either hug, pull the backs of the hands to touch, or work with a clasp, holding a strap or the hands. Again, I'll turn sideways so you can see the alignment here. On your inhale, lift the elbows. On your exhale, karate chop the hands forward. Feel that really nice pulling apart or that protraction of the scapula on the back body. One more neck movement. We look up. Maybe open and close the jaw, look down. A little semicircle one side and a semicircle to the other. Everybody look up. 3 rounds of flossing the shoulders, a slight arch into the slight bow. Almost like a standing cat-cow. Back through center and unwind. Okay, I am feeling much more limber in the shoulders and the neck. Let's get started with the workout. So please take your light weights. Take your legs into a wide stance. Someplace where when you bring the arms out, the hands land over the heels. Whew, so you can already just give a little test. How did that feel? Maybe you want to lower those weights down. Even if you're using no weights, you will still get a wonderful workout here. Let's start with the right toes pointed out and exhale into your warrior two. So here's the movement. Extend the arms on the warrior two. Pull to center. Flip so the knuckles are facing me. Shoulder press, next warrior two. Pull down through center. Flip so the knuckles are facing in. And then out when you're ready for the next warrior two extension, okay? So we come in, flip up, shoulder press warrior two. Come in, whatever break you want between, extension warrior two. That's your second full round. I want you to really think about keeping your torso really solid here. So you're pulling your belly back towards your spine. You're using a nice, strong, deep exhale. And especially for those of my tight-shouldered friends, when you reach into the overhead plane, you're really mindful to keep your ribs down and your core engaged. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Last 2. 9. 10. This is our final one. Nice work. Lower the weights as you parallel the feet. And we just take about a minute of rest. So since this is sort of a yoga fusion, you might just want to pause. Or if you're ready for a bit of a stretch, you can pull the shoulders down and back and interlace the hands behind you. Try to work the heels of the hands closer to touch, and then slowly lift the chest, inhale, and exhale into your wide-legged forward fold. Lift the sitting bones up as you stretch the hamstrings out. You can leave the hands where they are or lift the arms up towards the sky. Lead with the knuckles, lead with the back of the head to rise. And release. Prepare for our second set and our second side. Point the left toes out. Go ahead and grab your weights. Here we go. I'm psyching myself up too because I don't have anything less than 5 pounds here, but at home I might go a bit less. I'm realizing it's quite a lot on my arms, but I'm not at the point of fatigue. So if you couldn't complete that set with me, that means that we do definitely need to lower or practice just without any weight, okay? 10 rounds, here we go. Inhale. Find your alignment. Front knee should be stacking directly over that heel. Check it out. Knuckles are facing me for your shoulder press. Any transition between the two. 2. That's 3. That's 4. You're going faster this time, a little bit. That's 5. Maybe slow it down. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. Keep your core connection. Pulling belly back towards spine, pulling outer waist in towards the belly button. That's 9. Here's our final one. Woo. Parallel the feet, lower the weights, place hands to hips. Nice work. Roll the shoulders down and back. This time reach for opposite elbows behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. Either stay with opposite elbows or play with the reverse prayer to give the wrists a little bit of a stretch. Pressing palms together behind the heart. Exhale, bow forward. And now we'll add on from this bow, rise up, Pyramid pose, side 1. So I want your legs about 1 meter apart, but your feet about a foot apart, okay? Like running like train tracks. Square your hips towards the right foot and exhale, hinge. Good. Inhale, rise. Side 2, parallel the feet and then over to the left. So your feet are about 1 meter apart, but then the right foot slides out about a foot to the right. So your feet are kind of hips distance, right? Let's square the hips towards the left foot and bow forward. Really nice. Inhale to rise. And exhale to release. So I did say we're doing 3 sets. Our third set now, I'll show you the movement without the weights. You'll be moving into the same arm position, but from a double warrior 2 legs. So it's kind of like a goddess pose. So you'll have the weights at the center, exhale out. And look, I need to kind of readjust my legs. There we go. So the knees should be roughly over those heels. We'll inhale in, exhale into the press, okay? So that's where we're going. Grab the weights, our final 10. And this is where some of the best strength building does happen on that third set. So if you're doing it without the weights, you're still receiving a benefit, or if you've lowered the weights. Let's do this together. Inhale. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5, halfway. 6. 7. 8. If you want to stop at 8, you've made a huge success. Whew. 9, and I'm really pushing here to get my last one in, but I'm not compromising alignment. 10, lower the weights. Stand in Tadasana. And just take a moment to just gently move. So just roll the shoulders. Maybe move the neck. Inhale, lift overhead. And exhale, fold. Root to rise up. Hands to heart in. Okay, a lot of work for the back and the core, everybody. So even this is arms work. I mean, of course, biceps, triceps are really feeling this, but your whole body is contributing from the deepest part outwards. Let's add on. Go ahead and grab your light weights again. Alternating hammer curls. Start with one side. I'll start with my right. And inhale just up to hip height, okay? So you guys can see from the side, I'm at hip height, my knuckles are facing upwards, and exhale, lower back down. So inhale left, just up to hip height, exhale, lower. Inhale right, exhale, lower, and inhale left. Exhale, lower. You can see my elbows are coming into center. This is our third round. So you could stay with this version. I really like it, especially if you're working with weights that are feeling a bit much. This is a really modified version, okay? If you want to add on, you're going to curl all the way up. Exhale, lower. So you can add that right about now. Into our fifth round. And maybe you pause the video to switch up the weights if this doesn't feel progressive enough for you. So we want to make sure that you have that balance between alignment of the body, but also a little bit of fatigue of the muscles. That's why we are here. Resistance training to build tone. Last 2 to each side. Last 1 to each side. Pause. You might want to drop the weights, or if they're feeling pretty comfortable, it kind of can give a nice stretch just to hold in Tadasana with the weights. Second set after your next really big breath. Either pausing halfway or going the complete way. And you could work through the alternating, or if you'd like to do both at once, you could add that in as the final challenge, okay? Halfway. When each of you gets to 10, pause, either hanging Tadasana or a weighted free Tadasana. A couple breaths here. Okay, our third and final set. Grab your weights. Either option 1, alternating to the hip. Option 2, alternating to the shoulder. Or option 3, double curl. Everybody using breath to control the movement. Stand tall. Push through the feet, press up through the crown of the head. Most of us about halfway here. Most of us on that final 1 or 2. I just hit 10, so I'm going to drop the weights gently on the floor and pause for my 3 clearing breaths. You're always welcome to grab some water or wipe off some sweat with a towel. Preparing for our third and final move, our third move, not our final. We do actually have 4 moves today. So our third move here, let's go ahead and grab those same light weights. We're saving the big guy for the end, okay? So for this one, we're actually doing a fly, and there's a few ways to do it. So I want your feet wider than hips distance, pointing slightly out, and a little softness at your knees. I'll show you from the side first. I'm going to bow just slightly forward, maintaining a nice long spine. The light weights are at the center of the chest. Expand out like wings, and slow control back in. Expand out like wings, and slow control back in. So you can use those knees. You can see I'm assisting my pose with a little bit of flexion and extension at the knees, or you can just stand tall. What I don't want is you to be leaning back to get the weights to lift, okay? So I want your spine to be controlled by the core here. And if anything, you could use a little bit of assist from your legs and your big strong glutes and your booty. So there's 10, 3 sets. These are a bit faster. Most of us hitting 10 there. Pause either in standing Tadasana with weights or without. Second set. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Standing Tadasana. Third clearing breath into your final set. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Nice work. Let's lower down the light weights. Take your 3 clearing breaths, adding any additional moves of the shoulders, any stretching. And I'm leaving what I think is the hardest one for the end here. Some of you might be really strong with this move. It's for the triceps. So those of you trying to work on stronger chaturangas, this is for you. You've been asking me how to tone your chaturanga. That action of hugging to the midline with the elbows is all about the tricep-bicep co-contraction. It's not just the biceps, which are, for most of us, the overactive muscle. So go ahead and grab your weight. It could be anything. You could do the one that you just had, a 10, or I've got a 15 here. And we're going to actually take the weight up behind us. So here's the starting position. Holding one weight, zip the elbows in, stack the ribs over the hips. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, lower. That's 1, extend up. Exhale, lower. 2, a little bit faster. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, retract the head. 9, 10, nice and careful, releasing for your 3 clearing breaths. Sometimes I do this just holding on to one of my yoga blocks. So you guys can all be modifying with what you have at home. Or even just holding a water bottle. Really anything would work. I'm going to reach for my prop again, and here we go, set 2. Find your alignment, zip the elbows in, stack the ribs over hips, push the feet, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you might just get to 8 with these. 8. I'm going to see if I can get 9, and maybe that 10. Keep your alignment. 3 breaths. Always external sounds happening here, even in this pristine shala in the jungle. And I know at your home as well. So this is where the yoga infuses back in. Stay connected for your final set. Take your prop up and back. Zip the elbows in. Stack the ribs over hips. Push the feet. Lift. Lengthen the waistline as you lower. Inhale, lift. As you're tired, think of lengthening as you lower. 3, 4, 5. I think I'm just making it to 8 this time. 6, 7. I've totally reached fatigue, so here I go with my 8, and I'm lowering. If you're going 9 or 10, continue and lower your weight. Pause, take a breath. Nice work. For closing stretch, you can find yourself something to hold on to. So I have a pole here, which is great, or you could push your hand into a wall and just turn your body slightly away from it, okay? So see if you can get that little pec stretch. You can see my hand is on my rib, just kind of pulling my rib slightly away from my extended arm. Don't go too far. Allow your breath to return to its resting rate. Either stay here, or if you do have a corner or a pillar, you could add on with the elbow now. Really nice. Slowly release. Set up for your second side. Turn your body away from your extended arm. Either stay or add on if you've got that pillar, or a corner in your house you could use. Pressing your elbow into it now, your entire forearm, and turning away from that place. Beautiful. Slowly release into your wall dog. Take your hands at about hip height. Push them into your pillar or your wall. And then lower down. So I want a perfect L here. So rather than caving down, push into your hands, retract the head, ears in line with biceps. Inflate the back of the heart, and then push your hips back. Slowly release. Bring your hands together. Bow your head to heart. Thank yourself for taking the time to move today. From my heart to yours, namaste.